Record. Hey everyone, Jessie here. I don't really need to introduce myself. I think my team know who I am, fortunately, which is always a good thing if you know who your upline is. We are here today with Hayley Wiese. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
She's one of our awesome new diamond leaders, and she made very fast work of her doTERRA business. So I've got a couple of questions that I want to ask her today, and have her share her journey really with us, and hopefully share some tips that'll be helpful for other people that are wanting to take that journey with their doTERRA business and create financial freedom for themselves and help other people do the same. So Hayley, what made you want to build the business and jump in so seriously? Like, you seem to get serious quite quickly with your doTERRA business. So what kind of made you make that decision? And what was it about doTERRA that made you really take this so seriously and go to the top very quickly?
To be honest, it was all the oils, absolutely 100%. I was not expecting it at all, and it was the first drop. And to be honest, if I hadn't had that experience, I don't know if I'd be here today, but it was that profound that I shared it with a girlfriend that very next morning with the exact same issue that it had helped for my son, and had done the same thing for her, and she enrolled off of 1 drop of lime oil. So it shows the power. I hadn't even had my kit. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to help her enroll her. I just knew that she needed this and other people needed this. And then when my neighbour had the same help with, on-garden immunity around that time of year, and then my other friend across the road, husband, does bike riding like hundreds and hundreds of kilometres, and he raved about Ice Blue. I thought, this stuff is not a coincidence. This needs to go mainstream. This needs help getting out there, and I was the person to do it.
Yeah, awesome. So what was your first experience with the oils, just out of curiosity?
Well, I got given a bottle of lime for enrolling. That was a gift from my upline, Jane, and I had no idea what to do with it, but she told me to download the app. So I downloaded the app when I got home that night, and my son had been unwell. Like, he had this cough. He was only 18 months old, and just it was waking him up in the middle of the night. So normally I would just go to the medicine cabinet and get Nurofen or Panadol, as a mother does, and I couldn't find it. This is the way the universe works. I went to the cupboard and it wasn't there. And it had been there the night before and the night before that, but it wasn't there that night, and there was just a little bottle of lime sitting on the counter. And I thought, well, what does that do? So I typed it in, and it was said that it was good for sore throats and just helping the similar to lemon, I guess. You think lemon with sore throats and things too. And I thought, well, close enough. And it did it. It, like, within seconds, it had just stopped that irritation, and he was back to sleep. And this was 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going, what was that? And then I just started looking into it in the cellular side and just realising the full potential and the power that these oils had, and I just felt compelled to share.
Yeah, awesome. So it was really more about sharing the oils than, I guess, the actual business opportunity itself. And that's what I love about doTERRA. I think it's a product-based business, and we're educating and empowering people about products rather than trying to sell them an opportunity. The opportunity is optional, and we can educate and empower people about that side of things as well. But ultimately, our role is to share the oils and educate people about how incredible they are and how much they can change people's lives and empower people. So I love that was the place that you were coming from with that. That's awesome. So
I was just saying, the money's there. Like, you don't have to worry about the money. If you do the work, it's there.
Yeah.
So you just got to get out there and share it. Yeah.
And I always love to tell people, if you can get to elite, which is absolutely an achievable rank for any and everybody, it's 3,000 overall volume. It can be from people you've enrolled and also LRPs, but also volume from other people that you've helped enroll, sharing with people as well. If you can if you can get to elite and you can help 3 people get to elite, that sees you at the rank of silver. If you can help those 3 people help 3 people get to elite, that's platinum. And overall, diamond is literally just 12 elite. So if you can get to elite, you can help people get to elite, and you can help those people help people get to elite. It really is that simple. It's very, very achievable for anyone to do. It just takes consistency, persistence, and momentum over time. So Hayley, I have been seeing in a few different groups and things lately that people are stuck with what to actually do in their business on a day-to-day basis. So I really want to ask you what your day looks like and what your daily activities are to engage to further your business every day, and what you kind of, recommend to people in your team, and obviously to the greater doTERRA community, to actually physically be doing on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I get that a lot too, because it's hard to know when you haven't done something like this before. And my natural instinct was, okay, I don't want to bombard my friends on Facebook with oily stuff. So I created my own business page. That was my step one. I wanted to have a separate entity that I could focus all that energy into, that I could tap into anyone who was interested in listening to me at the time. So I did that. That was the first stage. And then once I started having people, I think that just attracts initial your warm market, and people who, like I had a lady who I worked with, hadn't spoken to her probably in 6 years. And she just called me up out of the blue and said, Hayley, you're doing oils. I need oils. And ordered like $400 worth of oils from me, like on the spot. So there's absolutely, the mindset too is a big one. I think that's important, trying to get that around. But as far as your day-to-day activities, it's taking responsibility for the time that you do have. I mean, I've got 2 children under the age of school years, like one's 4 and one's 2. So my 2-year-old is home with me every single day. And the reason we're doing the webinar right now is because he's asleep. So, you know, you can make this work if you've got little rugrats around you all the time. I just do a lot of it at night and when they're asleep. And I look at it like time is money. So if you see 5 cents or 10 cents on the ground, you don't just walk past it. You pick it up and you put that in your pocket, because you know that 5 cents and 10 cents is important. But we throw 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, out the window all the time. So once you take track of where you're actually spending your hours, you'll easily be able to find little pockets of windows to reply to a message, or to follow someone up, or to put that post up throughout your day, and then actually set aside like a chunk of time, be it once the kids are in bed, to actually do some planning or do some self-development. I watch a lot of YouTube and just, take that time bit by bit, and don't put yourself under too much pressure. Just keep finding ways to connect with people.
Yeah, I think it's really important to be doing the simple stuff that we're told all the time, but a lot of us don't do. So the 2 new contacts a day, 2 follow-ups a day, 2 classes or one-on-ones a week. I've always done a great deal more than that in my business, because I didn't want to go at it part-time or do it, over many years. I wanted to achieve the rank of diamond. I didn't see beyond diamond initially, but I wanted to achieve those other ranks quite quickly. So, and I know Hayley, obviously you're quite similar. You wanted to go at it and get to the top as quick as you can, or that's what I've seen you do anyway. I'm not sure if that was your intention, but that's how it worked out. So I've always done a lot more than that. And people ask, well, how do you find 2 new contacts a day? So do you have any suggestions for finding contacts? How do you enroll people? Because you are a good enroller. I also enroll a lot of people, and I'm happy to share some more tips on that as well. But how do you actually find people to enroll and share the oils with? And do you do samples, and how many classes are you doing, and how does that look?
Yeah, so when I was actually elite for 5 months. So I was elite, well, not 5 months. I was elite. I didn't qualify last year for Diamond Club because I was still elite in December. I was still elite in March this year. Mm-hmm. So the thing is to never give up. Just don't give up. I was just sharing like I could share at the time, and that was one-on-one. But I had a fear barrier there of not talking outside of my comfort zone, not talking to someone I didn't know about the oils. As soon as I broke through that, realize that, there was a mum at swimming lesson and her daughter was freaking out in the water, which my son had done the same thing. And I was torn inside. Do I say something? Do I not say something? I don't want to say it. I do want to say it. And I just said to myself, you want it more than the fear. The fear's not going to go away. Just do it anyway. And I said, just like, would you like to try? I had some balance and some lavender peace there. It's really helped my son. And she was like, oh my God, yes, please. And then the person sitting next to her said, oils. I love oils. What about oils? And then the swimming instructor in the pool said, are you talking about oils? I've got a boy that comes in who has a sensory issue, but he smells amazing now. And I think it's the oils. And all of a sudden I had 3 people engaged just because I stepped out of my comfort zone. And from that day forward, I was like, just talk about it. Just talk. If you see someone that needs it, ask. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how you find new people. I mean, you have to put yourself out there. You have to open public events. I've approached my library to host a open public workshop there to try and tap into other networks. I've contacted people, like if I go to a different town, for instance, I start going onto Facebook and to mums groups and just seeing if there's any interest out there, putting posts up for my page, for my events in that local area if I don't actually have a team there at the moment, but I'm going to be visiting that area. So I'm not just relying on my one lead in that area. I'm also tapping into, you know, the gyms and the day spas and the beauticians in that place I'm going to, just like I would if they were living in my own hometown.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So there's lots of different ways, but there's fear. It's very hard to get across that. You just have to, that's that personal development. You just got to realize that people need these and it's worth it. It's worth it to share.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, like most people know that I have anxiety and I'm on the spectrum and I struggle with social situations and all those kinds of things. So, you know, we've all had to break through barriers and step outside our comfort zone to do this. Like I was literally agoraphobic for quite some time and didn't go outside of the house and hated everyone, hated myself, thought that the world was a very unsafe place. So, you know, it's not just the extroverted Vanessa Jeans of the world that can be successful at this. And absolutely anyone can do it. So a lot of people think that I just built my business like purely off Facebook, but that's not the case. And even so, if I just did build my business off Facebook, it took me 2-3 years of hard work and blogging and making absolutely no money and developing rapport with an audience and being an activist and doing all these other things to get to that stage. So it's not like I just woke up and suddenly had, you know, several thousand followers. Even when I started doTERRA, I had less than 10,000 followers, maybe 7,000 or 8,000. So that has continued to build as I've continued on my journey as well. But I was doing classes on my back patio. I did Diamond Club with a breastfeeding baby, you know, going to networking events, which I absolutely never thought I'd ever do something like that ever. But I use my oils to support me emotionally. So things like spearmint on the throat chakra to, you know, help with speech, and balance and peace to support feeling anxious. You know, people know that I've signed up my Uber driver with an oil sharing kit. So I actually catch Ubers regularly now, not because I need to. I have a very nice car that I now drive thanks to doTERRA. But it's just finding new ways of connecting with people in the supermarket, at mums groups. You know, I tell mums that are on maternity leave, and a lot of people have other jobs, and then once they have babies and they're on maternity leave, like, right, like, let's build that doTERRA business because we're not currently at work and we have that capacity to. So I'm like, seriously, go to a mother's group every day of the week, like just find random different ones and talk to people. So if you are willing to step outside your comfort zone, and I don't know, if you want to dance, go take dance classes. If you still have painting but you haven't in a while, go take a painting class. Find ways to interact with people. And it's not about getting a sign up there and then on the spot. That will rarely, if ever, happen. It's about making connections with new people, sharing experiences. They will always bring something up that they're struggling with, and that's your in to say, just like Hayley did. She said, can I share something with you that really helped my son? So it's not like a threatening, like, here, buy this oil. It's just simply sharing from the heart, something that's genuinely helped us or helped someone we loved. And that's really all you have to do. And then help them do that, those that want to do that. Yeah, so that's awesome. Is there anything else that you do on a day-to-day basis that you think is really crucial for people to do, Hayley?
When I was really focusing, I think one thing that you created probably back in early in the year was Leaders Circle. That was amazing because that really helped me stay focused when I didn't know how to stay focused. And at the time I was running maybe one workshop a month, maybe 2 a month. I thought at a stretch I could do 1 a week. I ended up doing like 6 or 7 in a week between one-on-one. Once you find the time and you realize you can, you start putting them in everywhere. If you look at my calendar when I went from elite to silver in a month and then gold the next month, like I went to elite to gold in 60 days, it was because of that momentum and the fact that I just started finding pockets of time everywhere I could. So it's just a matter of sitting down and figuring out where you can find the time to do what you want to do. The pipeline, if anyone's got the launch guide, that's the launch guide. You can download these off of Share Success. But the pipes is really good. I mean, I basically made the mistake of coming in and then switching to customer service. So basically you get a couple of people, you get really comfortable, and then you come down here. And then you forget to keep enrolling. You forget to keep getting in new contacts. And that was just something that I had to come to grips with. Once you actually get out of that mindset and really go into preparing, inviting, presenting, enrolling, and supporting conclusively through that funnel, you can't stop. Like it's just a machine. It just works itself. And the best thing now is that I get to work with people to create this for themselves, and I get to teach them mistakes that I made so that they don't make them. And then they're ranking faster than I ranked. So it's a wonderful thing to be able to share with people. But really, at the end of the day, manifest, tap, use your oils. Use, share. I can't remember who said that, but it's true. You've got to use them. If you don't use them, you can't share them and you can't share your experiences. So it's pretty much, for me, that's simple. I live in a small country town. So it's not like I've got my closest airport is an hour away, or Sydney's 2.5 hours away. So, we don't have a lot of resources where I am, but you make do with what you have. And there's the phone, with the telephone and the internet, you're not restricted to your postcode at all. So there's no excuses. There's none. I've got them all. So, yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You just got to start.
Tapping and manifesting, Hayley, because that's what I'm always telling people to do. And I find it's the ones that actually do it, not just talk about it or hear me say it and then go, oh, yeah, that's, whatever. It's the ones that actually tap and manifest that find the big momentum. Like, you can do all the classes and action and, follow up and all that stuff. You can do all that in the world, and you'll find that you'll get stuck and you'll get frustrated and you will struggle to rank advance, basically, if you're not doing the attraction work and raising your vibration to a level that you can invite in that kind of abundance and success into your life. A lot of us will just stay in that slump and just really struggle to get beyond kind of even premiere almost. So the fact that you were doing the tapping and manifesting, and how often do you do that, especially when you made that switch to go from elite to gold in 60 days and then from gold to diamond quite quickly? What was your tapping and manifesting looking like during that time period?
I think because it's all new to me, so you introduced it to me, Jessie, and I'm like, right. But I gave it a go, and I did Money Magnet first up, and literally 30 seconds after I finished it, someone shoved $5 under my front door. And I'm like, WTF. So it happens, and it works, and the more I do it, and if I don't do it, stuff doesn't work anymore, and then I'm thinking, I haven't tapped in a week, have I? So it definitely helps. And when I'm ranking, like rank months, it's literally every day, all day. And if I don't, because the pace, it depends on your pace, to be honest, Jessie. I think it depends how fast you're moving. The faster you're moving, the more you got to do it, because the more energy and vibrations you're sending out. If you're just chugging along, growing consistently, then that kind of consistent approach to tapping and manifesting is fine. If you really want to have some momentum, you've got to keep it up with it. It's just the one and the same in front of my mind. The other thing I had was a diamond song and a diamond oil. So if you've got a rank that you want to achieve, actually start to anchor it with something. I intuitively picked my oils, and the best thing ever. I actually broke down in tears when I actually saw, after I opened my eyes, what oils I picked for my diamond oils. So it was half of basically my manifesting blend with a slight twist. So it was the ginger, so the oil of empowerment, patchouli, which is the oil of physicality, and then lime, which is this oil that started it all for me, and so zest for life. So they were the 3 oils I picked out of my box of 100 with my eyes closed. I sat down, I was listening to my diamond song, and I picked those three out. Mm-hmm. I just broke down in tears because I just realized in that moment that the universe said, Hayley, you've got this.
That's awesome. What's your diamond song?
Fireworks by Katy Perry.
Nice one.
Yeah. So I don't know, it does it for me, gets me going. And it was every day, living it every day, saying it every day. And because it was such a huge jump, I was gold and I was going for diamond. I had to live it and breathe it every single day. I was writing it on I Am Diamond in September 2016 on the shower wall every time I had a shower. Like, literally lived and breathed it.
That's how you do it.
Insanely, but you don't have to do it that way. But if you want to achieve things and they're big, like, just go for it.
Yeah. I seriously attribute significant amounts of my success to the tapping and manifesting every single day. Like, when I was going for presidential, I would calculate the volume like twice a day, the volume that I need. So be in back office all the time. It's absolutely crucial. You can't
numbers.
If you don't know what you need. So I go through every single, imagine trying to keep track of 54 elites when you're going for presidential diamond. You need 54 elites. You need 18 silvers or something. I can't even remember how, like, the numbers now, because it's just, I have to do it. But yeah, 54 elites, and tracking the volume, how far they were away from elite, and writing down all those numbers and then adding up how much out. I think it was 33,000 out, less than a week before the end of the month. And like a diamond organization needs 36,000 overall volume. So I'm like, I'll just I'll casually build a diamond organization in 4 or 5 days. No worries. So, but it happens because it's not just me doing it, obviously. It's my leaders are doing it. Their sharers and builders are doing it. You know, we had everything, all guns blazing. But it was constantly writing down, I am Presidential Diamond, honourable for October 2016. I personally enrolled this many people, and I ended up personally enrolling, I think, 19 people, even though I've been doing this for almost 2.5 years, personally enrolled 19 people that month. And just, I was literally like contacting friggin' people I went to high school with, people I studied law briefly with. Like, I didn't give a shit. I was just like, yep, let's give it a crack. Let's see what happens. And they enrolled. Like, my friend from high school enrolled, someone I went to law school with enrolled. Like, all of this stuff just happened. So, because I was manifesting constantly, I was tapping constantly, I was crying constantly. Vanessa Jean, you know, came and saved me because I gave up. You know, there's that point, like,
I did that too.
I'm not going presidential. I'm done. I quit. See you later. I'm going to bed. I hate everyone, everything. It's all over. And Vanessa Jean was like, no. And I was like, oh, just want to sleep. So, but, you know, and that's where you surround yourself with people that can help keep you accountable and tell you to keep going. And, you know, when you feel like it's just absolutely not possible, having other people in your life to tell you it is really quite helpful.
That's a very good point, what you just said there, accountability. Up until that point, it's been very tricky for me to find a mentor on a regular basis. And the fact is that when I was, I think, Jesse, you know, when I was going for Diamond, I messaged every single person in my upline, I'm going for Diamond this month. I put it out there. The number of people, even from other teams and things, that call me, is like, oh, I'm stuck on this rank and how do I get it? I'm really close this month. I said, who have you told? Oh, I haven't told anyone. And I'm like, well, how do they know to help you? Like, seriously, you have to let your team know what your goals and your ambitions are and how you want to help them succeed and how you want them. Like, it can't be all about you. It has to be about them as well. And then if you do it either way, you'll find out the hard way. But, you know, at the end of the day, you want to support your team and what their goals are as well. So it is hard, but numbers is really, really important. I'm a numbers nut. I love numbers. So the back office is my Bible, and I'm like, literally, I go through every single leg and I write down all their numbers are, who their predicted LRPs are, where the volume is, what is predicted, and then the number down the bottom. And the fact that I was still literally gold with like 30 minutes, half an hour to go at the end of the month shows you how close I was to clicking over to Diamond and how close anyone is to ever rank advancing. So it was literally to do with a few placements here and there, but if I didn't have full control over who was doing what, I wouldn't have got it over the line, even though I had the volume to put in the right places. And the right places are important too, but volume and numbers are, if you don't know, speak to your upline about how your back office works, how you can predict things. It's actually really to be a little bit strategic and actually predict a little bit of activity in certain areas that will help you take the pressure off, because you might only see 500 OV there and you go, oh crap, but you don't take into consideration the 1,000 LRP, OV, and then another 3 or 4 workshops. And then you go, well, actually, that looking really solid. I might focus my energy on somewhere else.
Yeah, so how do you, in back office, just briefly, I know it's hard to talk back office, but how do you predict? Are you doing that through detailed genealogy or?
Yeah, it's a little bit tricky now because I used to be able to go to the old graph and be able to see down like 20 odd levels, and you could actually kind of see everyone at one time, and I'd print it off and then handwrite it down. You can even go into detailed genealogy rather than graphical tree and copy and paste and then put that into an Excel spreadsheet and do it that way. I tended to do it the manual way because I was a bit more visual. I like to see the shapes and where they were located and who was under what and all that kind of stuff. So it just depends if you just need the actual number or you like to see the relationships and who could support who in those different areas. And I focused on the areas of need because you have so little time, or I did in particular. I really had to focus on who I had to focus on. Like, I couldn't help everyone at that time. I had another wet leg that was not going to be part of the Diamond run, and I had to just go, hun, this month it's for this. And she was completely cool about it. She's like, yeah, sure, go. If I can help in any way, I will. But you just have to focus your energy where you need it for that specific time and let everyone know what you're doing.
Yeah, especially your family and loved ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. So, Hayley, what kind of personal development do you do outside of the tapping and manifesting? Do you have any specific resources or things that you think are really crucial that really change your outlook, especially in terms of, I guess, fear and sharing. I think my personal thing with fear is just taking action. You feel the fear, you can either let it stop you, or you can just take action regardless of how ill you feel and how kind of anxious you are. That, for me, it's always taking action. Like the amount of times I've wanted to pull the pin on speaking engagements, on classes, and there have been times when I haven't been able to do workshops because I have been so anxious. But I could let that be my excuse 100% of the time, because I'm always nervous. I always don't want to go to the friggin' leadership retreat, or like I want to go leading up to it, and then like a week out I'm like, yeah, I'm not going. Nope, I don't want to go. I definitely don't want to go. Every single class I do, like still just doing in-home classes for me produces massive amounts of anxiety. But I can either cancel them and quit and make excuses and pretend I'm sick and do all the crap that I used to do, or I can just go to them, feel the fear, apply an abundant amount of oils and get it done.
Yeah, so I use intuitive picking a lot because my emotional intelligence before being broken open by these oils was quite limited. So I'm actually able to close my eyes and tap into my intuition and actually pick my oils that way, and then go through the Emotions and Essential Oils book. Like, this is my Bible to personal development a lot of the time, because it actually tells you what my subconscious is going through. So, it's just the fact of that if you can do that. I was picking up juniper berry a lot. Mm-hmm. So and I was going, well, I don't have nightmares. You know, that was my logic of it all. And when I actually read it, it's all about fear. You know, it's all about overcoming that fear, whether it's just a subconscious fear. So it was the perfect oil that I needed at that point in time. And then I know what to go and have personal development on when I'm YouTubing and when I'm tapping. But other than that, I could think that I want to do one thing when really my subconscious is like, no, hun, this is actually why you're doing that. And that's what I work on, rather than my logic brain telling me something, because I think I'm really smart, but I'm actually not. Use your intuition. I think we have to tap into that a lot more. And it doesn't matter if you've got 5 oils or you've got 100, just use what you've got, because your body will resonate with whatever's closest for you. And then make sure you've got this book. And that's the best thing with the LRP. Just grow your collection. Even if you don't know why you need cilantro, you will need it at some stage. So just make sure that you continue to grow something. Go outside your comfort zone. If you keep seeing lemongrass pop up, just grab it. You don't know why you need it, but you might just need it. So tap into that. And I seriously, YouTube, I follow a lot of people on Facebook and social media. I source inspiration from
people. Who are your top people to watch on YouTube and social media?
I'm actually really loving Kerwin Ray right now. Have you heard of him? Oh, it's a guy, Kerwin Ray.
Kerwin Ray, no.
Yeah. He's based in Sydney. He does amazing business work, but it's really that mindset. And because of my background, the one thing I guess that's helped me in this, yes, I'm a stay-at-home mum who lives in the country, but my background is marketing and PR, and event management. So a lot of this stuff coming in, all this running of events seemed really natural for me. But what isn't is the whole leadership management side of things. And that's been a really big growth for me in breaking down these barriers. But definitely, I'm really enjoying his work at the moment. I'm working with Grace Lever at the moment too, who does some wonderful work with entrepreneurs, and especially women. Grace Lever, she works all over Australia, and she's amazing. And yeah, I'll have to look, but maybe we can post it under here with some links and things. But I take inspiration from all of other beautiful leaders, like Chantel, who's on the call today. Chantel, mwah, she's amazing. Yep. You know, like we're surrounded by such amazing women and men in the whole of doTERRA, both in Australia and overseas, to tap into. You know, you don't have to look that far to be inspired. You really don't.
Absolutely. Awesome. Is there any last minute sage advice? What do you attribute your success to, Hayley, overall, do you think?
I don't know, just resilience, really. Not giving up. And yeah, resilience, I think, is the main one, because I've got to the point where just like hitting your head against a brick wall, it's like, it's not happening, it's not happening, it's not happening. And the thing that just keeps swimming in my mind is just keep swimming, like Dory, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. And that's what got me through those really tough months at elite. And then all of a sudden, the reason I could jump to silver so fast is because I had nurtured everyone, is because I didn't give up. And all three at the same time started to switch on and said, okay, I'm willing to host workshops and do some sharing now. And because they all did it at the same time, we all rank advanced together. So, it's timing to a certain extent was good on my part. It was all timing. But hard work. I mean, every night I'm doing something. I just am. I love it. It doesn't feel like work to me. I try and have a balance, but at the same time, it's something that I feel is nourishing for me anyway. So I do love it. And just not stopping. And if you get stuck, don't let it break you. Don't feel like it's not for you, because it is. Literally what Jessie said is true. If you believe you can, or if you believe you can't, either way you're right. It's a very famous saying. I have no idea who said it, but it's true, because if you believe you can, you will. And if you believe you can't, you will. It's all about what's up here.
And the snowball effect, I talk about the snowball effect all the time because people don't believe me until it happens. And then Chantel's like, oh, the snowball effect is real. So Hayley, you've got the snowball effect as well, because you're elite, 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 elite. And Chantel was the same. She was like executive. And then because she was, just growing that confidence and really working on her mindset and personal development and just doing classes all the time, and she did Diamond Club. I mean, she went from Premier to Gold in Diamond Club. And then, quite quickly from there to platinum. So the snowball effect is legitimate. People just wake up. I mean, it's just you. The reality of the business is, like, for me, people are like, oh, how do you get silver and gold and whatever? Like, I built myself the majority of the way there. There were a few people sharing a little bit, but I wanted it. So I made it happen. I just enrolled people, put them in the legs that I needed volume in kind of similar geographic locations with people that I thought would work well together, placing in that way intuitively, but also for rank advancement. And then that's like, I got to silver in less than 60 days because I was just enrolling like a boss and just did it. So, but the snowball effect is legitimate. People just wake up and then suddenly everyone is on board, and you have to take personal responsibility and continue to enroll your own enrollments and people that are open sharing building. And I'm constantly manifesting, like my main manifest is just new builders all the time to put in positions that will support my leaders to rank advance, thereby supporting me to rank advance. So that's the reality of it.
Yeah, and also I think that's true. I mean, I also manifest builders for my builders too. Yeah. So that gets them going too. And the other thing is, get outside your postcode as soon as possible. Get outside of your town. Travel. Like I didn't qualify for Diamond Club. I didn't. But I just did Diamond Club myself. So as soon as someone activated in Adelaide, I flew to Adelaide to run her first workshop. And I tapped into some other markets down there. Then I've lived in Victoria, so I travelled to Victoria and tapped into some people that I've worked with previously and friends that I've had down there. Then they have friends. I've worked up in Northern Territory, so I've tapped into people up in Darwin. So just tap into where people are. I've got people who are from the UK, so they're tapping into family over in the UK or Canada or New Zealand. Yeah. You don't need to be in someone's living room to share this stuff. Samples can go in the post, or really the number of times I've spoken to someone and they just go, wow, you're really passionate about this, aren't you? I'm like, yeah, they don't even need a sample. Yeah. They don't, because they're just like, okay, I get it. Like, let's go. Let's try this.
Yeah, I've got to try. Like I said, I enrolled 19 people last month. Of those people, only a couple had samples, because I didn't kind of have time to sample them, and I was getting to the kind of let's do this phase. So starting with them and them trusting in what I've creating. Also, they've been like my Facebook friends, so they've seen what I've created in the last couple of years. They've been watching in the corner, checking it out, and actually been interested. Like the friend that I enrolled from high school said she had like 10 conversations with her partner about what I was doing and should she get involved and all that stuff. And I was like, dude, get on board. And she did. So you never know what happens when you actually reach out to people and just continue contacting and
You have stalkers too. You have stalkers. People who I didn't even know were liking me or following me, and then all of a sudden, like, I'll touch base, I'll post something and they'll reply or they'll activate. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know you liked my page. So there's always people out there watching what you're doing. So never feel like, this is like, oh, no one listens, or people listen. I really like the number of times I go to like a training or leadership and people coming up to me I don't even know going, oh, I love that video, or I love that post, or you're such an inspiration. And for me that was really confronting, because I just thought no one listened. I thought no one watches it. Yeah. So your who you are matters, and who you are right now is exactly who someone needs. You know, who Jessie is isn't right for everyone. Who I am, like, we all attract different people. And that's perfect, because introverted people need introverted people, and extroverted people need extroverted people. And who you are, like, your circle of influence is exactly who those people need. So you don't have to be me, and you don't have to be Jessie, you don't have to be Chantel, you don't have to be anyone except for yourself, and you will do just fine.
Yeah. People just want to be heard and have their needs met, and you can provide that with doTERRA. So just understand that. See what you do as a service, not selling or trying to take people's time or money. You're providing a service that will change their life. Every time you have fear around sharing the oils, think about how much the oils have personally impacted you and other people you know and love, and come back to the place of being in service to people and bringing these oils and opportunity to people, because people are looking for it. They want natural options that can support them. And if they don't know that they want natural options yet, they actually do, and it can take some time with some people, and, you know, maybe some people don't ever want it, which is their journey as well. But a lot of people take several contacts and several experiences to be open to what we have, and that's okay. Be patient with people, be there for people, you know, serve them with what they need. Like, if someone's saying they're not getting any sleep and you give them a sample of something that helps them sleep, do you think they're going to want more where that came from? Like, the reality is we have stuff that works, we have stuff that's natural, we have stuff that helps people and changes lives. So we just got to do the work of sharing it and stepping outside of our comfort zone, and then the snowball will happen.
And I think the last thing that I just want to talk before we finish up is the fact that the main thing that I'm realizing now is that I'm kind of capping out on that manual ability to support everyone in my tree, because once you the fear of some people with growth is how you can help everyone. And the main reason, I guess, for me is being able to provide help for people to be able to do that. And so myself and another friend of mine, Riley, we're looking at working on a social media-based, like website, Facebook, email-based service for people to be able to tap into, to be able to support the people as they enroll. It'll be called Oily Info. So it's going to be a Facebook page for everyone that they can like. It's not attached to a page or a team or a wellness advocate. It's just for doTERRA users, and it's going to be Australian-based, because I think a lot of the stuff that we get is wonderful. Like, I still, like, I'm a major advocate for the build and the share documents, but there's also an element of Aussie in there and things that we can do better. And the trouble is, especially for people on Diamond Club, some of the restrictions I've had, like the concerns I've had coming back are, I don't know how to support everyone. What happens when I go to a state and that person's new to sharing and they don't know how to provide, or they're still learning too? How do I then support all those people, as well as going on to my other 6 events that month, and then the next month and the next month? So the idea is that there'll be a system in place where you can just log in, type in the enroller's name and the new enrollee's email, and that person will be supported for a week of introductions into doTERRA, the culture of doTERRA, all the basic foundation kind of stuff that we learn, and then sometimes we forget to teach other people because it just seems normal for us. Even co-impact sourcing and Healing Hands Foundation, like the real heart of doTERRA. Unboxing your box, making sure that opening the bottles and smelling them, putting the stickers on top of the bottles, how to use a diffuser, how to use a carrier oil, the benefits of dilution, and that's a real safety thing, so a real safety section to it as well. What LRP is, the benefits of LRP, how to access your back office, all these basic step-by-steps, which can be easily supported through a really personalised email with a video, so that they can learn. And you know that they're going to have these foundations for the first, so they'll get a welcome email, and then it'll be 5 days, and then they'll get their first week of emails. So we'll call it O week, so orientation into doTERRA. But it's going to be done before the 14 days are up. So the benefit of that is that you can actually, there'll be a plug to re-engage with their enroller for their wellness consult. So you can tap back in, they know their foundations, and you can actually see where they're at. If they're interested in the oils, or that they're looking to build, or that they're actually interested in sharing now because they didn't realise the full possibility here, or they want to set up their loyalty rewards order. So all of these are going to help you take that pressure off with a system that's really personalised. We're still in early days, but this is going to be up and running for January. And the best thing for that is that it's going to be fully operational by Diamond Club. So people who want to be into Diamond Club but they're not sure how they're going to support everyone, at least you know that you can confidently step back and go, okay, I know that they've got the basics, and then when your things are a bit quieter, you can actually pick back up and take up where that's left off. So hopefully that is a service that people are going to be interested in. That's going to be called Oily Info.
Yeah.
So keep your eye out for that.
Always remember to send people a welcome email and add them to relevant Facebook groups, because it's really, really crucial. It's not just about enrolling people. The support is crucial. I've done seriously how many webinars now that are all available publicly on YouTube. In Jesse's training videos, there's everything from everything you need to know to get started, to how to place an LRP, to how to enroll a wellness advocate, to all those things. So be tagging people in those videos and sharing the YouTube channel and all those things so that people are educated. Like I don't have time to tell someone how to place an LRP order. That's why there's videos and resources, and there's a full class on my YouTube channel. If you've never done a class from somewhere rural, if no one can come and do your first class, all of it is online. But it's kind of the more advanced stuff. So the O-Week thing sounds like it'll be really, really awesome for the basics as well. And then you can back up that support for those that are interested in sharing with all the training that is already there available for you to use. And even if you don't want to have people in the main group, which I recommend everyone do, because it's great being part of such a big group and people can engage in the posts and be a part of all that stuff, but it's all public on YouTube as well, so you can share the links, or a lot of it's public on my personal Facebook page, so the links will still work to sharing your groups.
And I'll just say right now that, Jessie, there's no way I could be where I am right now if it wasn't for that files tab in your Facebook page. I couldn't be where I am because I wasn't interested in the business when I first enrolled at all, and my upline didn't actually contact me in the first 14 days from enrolling, even though I'd already set up my business page and I was already sharing it with them. So, and this is why in the back of my mind, even though she was just new to sharing, she just didn't understand, it's not, she didn't do anything wrong. But because I was proactive, I could find all that stuff on your page, and that's what just made my life so much easier. So thank you so much. It was
excited about that thing that you guys are creating. I think it's going to be awesome. Very good.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Thank you so much for all of your pearls of wisdom today, Hayley. It's been awesome to share with us. And I'll talk to you very soon.
That's great. Thanks, guys.
Thanks to everyone that's come and watched, and I'm sure many will be watching the recording, so that'll be awesome. I think a lot of useful information is being shared today. So
yeah.
Really good to talk to you.
Thanks. Bye.